Carl has been in Lukow prison for a year now. I've been thinking of that so often this month, and how it's just a year since you came to see me at Ronki and gave me that lovely Christmas tree. This time I arranged to get one here, but they've brought me such a shabby little tree with some of its branches broken off. There's no comparison between it and yours. I'm sure I don't know how I'll manage to fix all the 8 candles that I've got for it. This is my 3rd Christmas under lock and key, but you needn't take it to heart. I am as tranquil and cheerful as ever. Last night I lay awake for a long time. I have to go to bed at 10, but can never get to sleep before 1 in the morning. So I lie in the dark, pondering many things. Last night my thoughts ran this wise: how strange it is that I'm always in a sort of joyful intoxication, though without sufficient cause. Here I am, lying in a dark cell upon a mattress hard as stone. The building has its usual churchyard quiet, so that one might as well be already entombed. Through the window there falls across the bed a glint of light from the lamp which burns all night in front of the prison. At intervals I can hear faintly in the distance the noise of a passing train, or close at hand the dry cough of the prison guard. As in his heavy boots he takes a few slow strides to stretch his limbs. The grind of the gravel beneath his feet has so hopeless a sound that all the weariness and futility of existence seems to be radiated thereby into the damp and gloomy night. I lie here alone and in silence, enveloped in the manifold black wrappings of darkness, tedium, unfreedom, and winter. And yet, my heart beats with an immeasurable and incomprehensible inner joy, just as if I were moving in the brilliant sunshine across a flowery mead. And in the darkness, I smile at life, as if I were the possessor of a charm which would enable me to transform all that is evil and tragical into serenity and happiness. But when I search my mind for the cause of this joy, I find there is no cause and can only laugh at myself. I find there's no cause and I can only laugh at myself. I believe that the key to the riddle is simply life itself. This deep darkness of night is soft and beautiful as velvet, if only one looks at it in the right way. The grind of the damp gravel beneath the slow and heavy tread of the prison guard is likewise a lovely little song of life for one who has ears to hear. For one who has ears to hear. At such moments, I think of you and would that I could hand over this magic key to you also. Then at all times at all times and in all places, you would be able to see the beauty and the joy of life. Then you also could live in this sweet intoxication and make your way across a flowery mead. Do not think that I'm offering you imaginary joys or that I'm preaching asceticism. I want you to taste all the real pleasures of the senses. My one desire is to give you, in addition, my inexhaustible sense of inward bliss. Could I do so, I should be at ease about you, knowing that in your passage through life you are clad in a star-bespangled cloak, which would protect you from everything petty, trivial, or harassing. It would protect you from everything that is petty, trivial, or harassing.
Mm.
And that's the only answer, because all of these things outside of ourselves are going to be in flux. You know, whether it's a virus or landlords or prejudice or, you know, all these things, even mind. Mind's going to say what mind's going to say. Mind's going to do, other people are going to do what they're going to do. And we've been taught through our cultures to look outside of ourselves for the resolution of it. And it's just not out there. It's not out there. I mean, we keep trying to set the conditions over and over again. Oh, if I just get, you know, it's the trick of ego is if I just get the conditions out there right, I'll be okay. And that's the great trick. It's the great trick because, you know, the conditions out there are always going to be messed up. There's always going to be annoying people. There's always going to be viruses, sickness, illness, death. There's always going to be all that stuff. Always, always, always. There's always going to be disappointment. There's always going to be failure. There's always going to be just all those things. So there's only one place for it all to be resolved. And the magic of the internal resolution actually shifts not only the perception out there, but also what happens out there in some kind of mysterious way that I can't explain. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people in conflict and they shift on something and then they're going to go tell the other person calls them first, already resolved. And it's the same thing with the circumstances in our life and all these kind of things. It's the resistance to them that creates the persistence of them. But it's crazy because when you let go of it, all of a sudden you don't even notice anymore. It becomes non-issue. And that's the trick. And I'm, not saying that I'm running around like Rosa all the time. I'm not. But I do know every time I find a little resolution within myself, it not only impacts the circumstances in my life, but it also impacts my experience of life. And it's all inside. It's all inside.